Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Last episode we ended up making this little miniature plant here that we're slowly building items to put into a permanent storage system. Now this is my early iteration of this one. I just kind of wanted to see how the system worked. We also made some programmable splitters because I wanted to mess around with those. The little animation on the side just kills me. I love that thing. But we got to expand this a little more. I've had some time to think about it. So what I think we're going to do with these storage containers is actually move them back a little bit to probably right about here and stack them up too high. And then what we'll do is actually make this even more compact and pile them on top of each other instead of going lengthwise, because I really want to challenge myself by also going vertical with as many builds as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and actually scrap a few of these down. This whole last row here, I'm actually going to just disassemble this. We won't need this. We're going to go 3 by 3, and that will hold 12 items for us. Okay, so I think this is enough room. I think everything is still all nice and cleaned up. So now we have some room in here, so we can actually come and take out one of our smart splitters. We can use the smart splitters because we only need one item to come off of here, so it's not so bad. So I can even figure out, like, we can even make this tighter, but I want to see how much room this gives us to go upwards. So I'm going to go back here. I don't know, somewhere about in between these two, and slap that right onto the line. There we go. And we'll see how much room we have with the verticals. If we can jam a vertical in here and still do a line, this will be actually, I think, a decent design. So let's go ahead, slap that in, and just kind of put it in for now. There we go. Will this encroach? Haha, it does too. Okay, so that's not going to work so well coming out that way, so I might have to leave a little more room in between the storage containers, which I don't think is too big of a deal. So let's get rid of these programmables here, and I'll see how much room I have to give myself. This thing is crooked too, isn't it? It is. Look at that. The height of this is actually lower than the height of that. So this thing is now crooked. Maybe I'll put it in line and see if that looks a little better. Okay, so putting a regular or a smart splitter beside this splitter, I think this is something they're going to have to address, is the height of this one. Why is this one different than the other ones? But it actually says the conveyor belt is too steep if you try to go too close with these ones. So I think I'm best to move it closest to this and then go from here to there. I don't like the way it's all crooked like that. Alright, well that's what I ended up coming up with. So just one tick back will allow it to go upwards a little bit. Look at that. That actually looks okay though. I can deal with that. The crooked, I can deal with that. I had to move back the storage a little bit, which still leaves us a little bit of room to bring another line in to merge with the main line, because we're going to be building some other stuff over on this side, like frames and heavy frames. We'll make like a small heavy frame factory that just produces heavy frames, and then a small factory for supercomputers too. So that'll go over here, and then we'll build a big factory for the end items. So I'm going to go ahead and put the elevator on here and see how much room we need to start another line. Okay, so that didn't turn out too bad here. I'm actually going to stack another storage container on top of there so I can get this. I hope we can actually go that short. If we can't go that short, this is kind of redundant, but I put another splitter in. It just had to go a little bit further down, and it actually lines up just nicely with the elevator. So let's go ahead and redo this elevator here, and hopefully it lines up. Actually, that was really easy. Look at that. I didn't even have to raise it. That's the default height. So the default height brought it up another layer. Now we do lose... Actually, I don't think we lose that much space at all. Let's see how these things stack up beside each other here. Now, as far as the storage line getting congested because we have too much of one item, I think the only way we have to solve that right now is just to add a good storage to the end of the line, and then just go in it every once in a while and delete it if you need to fill up storage again. So I think that's the best way to do that, or maybe several storage containers. But let's make sure this is all lined up here. I can use the grid. Just like that. There we go. And that leaves only a small amount of room in between each one. I can deal with that. Let's see if we can get these connected. Oh, nice and tight. Yes, I like it. Okay, and then I'm going to build a second one here and then do the same thing over again. And then we're going to get them programmed and stare at it to see what it looks like. I think this looks neat. Okay, wow, is this design ever tight? So these elevators, if I clip this in after, it merges right into the actual splitter itself. Like, look at that. It even looks like it's hooking into it. Like, that's actually pretty damn awesome. Usually I don't like clipping stuff, but that actually looks pretty legitimate. I think that looks pretty damn cool. I'm really liking how this is turning out. Let's take a little bit of a step back here. Oh, so much better. It's a little expensive because we're using a lot of different stuff, but I can actually see this being expandable if you go one more back and then one over and then go one more story up and then in. Like, you can go back as many rows as you really wanted to, as long as the end row was as tall as as many splitters as you have going down. So this is actually completely expandable. I mean, if you have it all automated and you have the materials, I think it worked pretty well. Okay, let's go ahead and program this stuff. So this one here, we had iron rod, and we're actually going to delete the iron plates on the other side, and we're going to add plates in here. There we go. So coming out of here, whoops, I'm sorry, that was the left side. This is the right side because you guys, yeah, that it does make sense that the input right and then left. But I want those actually coming out of the right output. Here we go. Holy left and right today. I'm gonna have to write that on my hands or something. Okay, so out the right side we have those going. So the smart splitter, this is the input here, so we want to go to the left. And on the left, we're actually going to go ahead and put the iron rods up to the top shelf. So essentially, this actually should work out. I'm going to put a dump chest on the end, and we're going to make sure I did this right. If not, well, I'll just do it over again. Okay, there we go. So we have items flying down the line here. We have some iron rods, which, according to this, should have actually went up and into here. Oh, look at that. There we go. Iron rods piling up in here. And plates, if there ever is any. Oh, there's one right there. Goes through there, and goes to the bottom one. Oh, this is kind of cool. Okay, well, there's one side successfully done. I'm going to go ahead and what do we have going on this one? Literally nothing. So I'm going to put screws and wires coming into this side. First of all, I'm going to set this one first. There we go. Screws and wires are now coming out here. So all the wires should be getting sorted on top. And all of the screws should be coming through the bottom. This is so cool. Okay, so that's two. I just had to add one more to this side. And then we have a 3x3, which I think is more than enough for now. We can go down this way with it. Or if I really want to go fancy in the future, we can keep going down and then up. But let me get to work. This is going to take a few minutes. I'm going to remove this so the line gets clogged up. No sense in wasting items. Alright, so I set this side here to reinforced iron plates and cables. So our reinforced iron plates are coming up here to the top. And our cables should be going down into the bottom there. Oh, look at that. The items are just moving. So that should cover all of the items we actually have at the moment. So we put all of the items in a pretty small automated space. I'm actually really pleased with this one. It's a little expensive at the moment, but like I said, as you progress in the game, building stuff like with the supercomputers and whatnot shouldn't be an issue. Even at this point, it's actually not too bad at all, because the only really expensive ones are the ones going down the middle. And you could just keep adding items to the side, so you can actually really add to the value of them. But cool, so we don't even need these sides, or this side anymore, so I'm going to get rid of these. And we're going to take a look at automating some of the other more complex stuff here. Like we need some frames. We're going to need heavy modular frames. So I'm going to build a frame factory. And then we're going to build heavy modular frames off of that. We'll take a look at the recipes too. I have a whole bunch of different ones. So it'd be just nice to have all of that being stored. And then if I really need some, I can pull it off of the storage and directly into a machine. Well, since that last cut, I went and had to take a quick break, stopped the recording, came back, and did a whole bunch of talking. Forgot to press the recording button again. So get us caught up. We were talking about which recipe we were going to use to make heavy modular frames. Not a lot has happened, so we didn't miss too much. I caught it probably about 20 minutes into the recording, so we'll get you caught up. So I put a manufacturer down here, and we are doing the heavy modular frame alternate recipe, which takes pipe, which isn't too bad to make. We got materials coming in. We got iron and we got coal coming in to make the steel, which will be then made into the pipe and brought into this manufacturer right here. And we are also making the modular frames here with this coming off our main line, making our iron rods for us, feeding this machine. And then I've split off our actual stitched iron plates into two here. So some is being stored, and the other half is being brought into this machine. So I might have to move some of this around. Like this got to be tidied up a little bit. I could probably cut this off here, because I left a lot of room back here for expansion, for more smelting, and to make something back here. So this footprint isn't too bad. What I need to do, finish off doing, is bringing this in here. So we got the concrete coming off our main bus line, which we have tons of, which will go into here. It calls for 25 concrete. The encased industrial beams, I forgot about those actually. I'm going to have to add a whole nother row coming from our encased industrial beam factory over there, in case you haven't seen it. It's right there. We got a ton of them. I just got to bring them around and add them to this bus here, and then bring it down here, and then into here. Yeah, it'll happen. It's not too bad. I have tons of supplies to get it done. So what I got to do now is hook those two up to our steel, get our steel going, making pipes, and then we'll actually be automating heavy modular frames, which will then also go into storage, which will merge into this line right here. So it'll come out of here and merge right into this one, and then that'll merge into that line, and then we gotta add on to our another stack of 2 onto our storage system. We'll put another 2 on this side. Alright, so I was able to line up this really nicely. I'm loving these elevators. It was a little tricky getting these all straight with the splitters and everything, kind of free range on the belt. All I did was kind of come under here and look straight ahead and just try to line it up as best as possible. I got them pretty straight, if not dead on, but now we have coal, so we can actually be making steel now. Is this thing powered? It is not. We're going to be making the basic steel ingot. I actually could have used this one. I completely forgot about the coal and the iron, because the iron's literally right beside us. Oh, that's a little bit of a killer. But since we have this, we'll be making the regular steel ingots. So there we go. Now we have it. Oh, wow. I should start paying a little more attention to my alternate recipes, but it is what it is. That's what we got going on. Not a big deal. And there we go. So our lines are going now and feeding. Oh, I love the look of that. It's a little more complex doing it like that, but you can fit machines in much tighter, because before you'd have to go like a really long distance if you're pulling off a line from like up top. Now you can just bring it straight down and bam, line it up. Okay, so the steel is going, and we have to get pipe going in this one. So we're gonna need steel coming out of this and going into the pipe. Now bring that around the corner. They made it. It does feel like stuff does snap a lot easier now. Tighter in between machines. I was able to get some of these splitters like really close to these machines. I still had to run some belt in between, but if you look straight down, click it, and then look straight forward and click it, it does it for you pretty much. But this is exciting. We should actually be producing steel here pretty soon. Okay, I'm gonna get everything hooked up. I'm also going to put the steel pipes onto our output line to go into our storage. So we'll have steel pipes too. So we're gonna have to add 1, 2, 3 more storage to this. Well, it's mostly sorted out. I cleaned up in here. I made the belts coming in go a lot tighter. This actually worked out really nice. It just kind of curved into here. Then I brought this out all nice. I had to move this a little bit further back and to get these two to fit together. I had it up here and I couldn't fit them in beside each other. It was like a millimeter too small or something stupid. But our main line has a ton of pipe on it. I might actually slow down the production of iron pipes here. Yeah, let's slow that down to about 50%. I don't believe we really need that much. At least at this moment. Okay, I'll type that in. Here we go, 50%. There we are. And we'll store the rest. And over here, all we need now is our encased industrial beams, and then we're making the heavy modular frames, which is pretty damn awesome. So everything here, it fit in pretty nicely. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. It's not that large of a footprint either for just like a side storage of this for now. And later on I can either retire it, tear it out, replace it with something else. You guys know how the game goes. So let's go ahead and get some cased industrial beams over here. This is going to be a little bit tedious, but I'll get it done. Well, that wasn't too bad. So I got the main line coming in here. I went a little higher up with my elevator on the end there, just because this comes down at an angle, and I didn't want to clip through the belts coming down at an angle. It came out right before. Now we can change that in the future if I want to. I can bend it around a little nicer here and take the time out to put it in nice. But for now, that does a job. I don't know if this is going to end up staying anyway, right? It's taking up a whole bus lane. So, but other than that, it actually wasn't too bad. I'm going to have this over at the main base in just a second. And there we go. We have encased industrial beams now going directly into our manufacturing. This is awesome. This is turning out really cool. This factory is starting to be huge. So just a general build itself. So we're producing tons of computers. We're now actually using this on the production line, which is really neat because these are such a pain in the butt to build. But now we should be producing some modular frames. Why is it not moving? What do we not have enough of? Oh, the regular modular frames. I wonder, it's probably a good idea for me to crank up the production of that, or is it not working? Are we missing something? Reinforced iron plates. Okay, so it looks like that's going to be our little bit of a choke here. Oh, it's not powered. That would explain why. I've moved around a few power lines, I guess, and completely forgot about this one. Okay, well that's going to take a second to get warmed up anyways and start producing some heavy modular frames. I'm going to go ahead and fix up this end here. I'm going to put a merger right here, another merger, and have the heavy modular frames go into storage. So that'll be 1, 2, 3 different objects. So we'll have to make 2 more stacks over there. Well, that didn't take too long at all. We got that all set up. Look at that. 2. Then 2 more objects as we start adding more stuff to the factory. I'm really liking how nice and compact this is. It doesn't look too compact, but it's all automatic and we don't have to have a big bus. I mean, you can do a big bus and have everything go directly, or just like put them into the ends of like production rows. But I like challenges like this. It looks really neat too. I mean, look at it down the center. I could also, if I really wanted to, run wow, I haven't used any of this stuff in a while here. I think it's under organization. Yeah, we can run walkways down the middle of this too. I think that would look snazzy, just to, you know, as an aesthetic thing really, because flying around it's not so bad. I haven't used walkways ever since I got my jetpack. But we have everything good to go here. All we got to do is program these. So in this first one, we're going to go in the left output. That's the one that doesn't have anything. And we're going to want to put heavy modular frames and then frames. So we're going to go heavy modular frames and then modular frames, and that's into this side. And into the top, I'm going to put the inputs going in this way. So we're going to go right side here. We're going to put our heavy modular frames into the top one. There we go. And then the rest will just flow into there. And on this one here, we actually don't have two objects to put into it, so it's not that big of a deal. So for the left output, we're just going to do one. And that one is going to be our pipe. Where is pipe under here? There we go. Steel pipe out of this one. And because this one, we'll just keep it going forward because there's nothing split. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what happens if we don't actually like do anything to it, if it just goes straight or if it splits it up into the top. It works like a normal splitter. But in order to do that, we are going to actually have to hook this main line up to our sorting line. So we're going to put some more pressure on it. Hopefully I can get this. Oh yeah, look at that. It'll be nice and tight with this one here. So I'll try to bring it in as close as possible. So I'm going exactly half here, and how I'm doing that is I'm actually lining up the circle to each other. There we go. Look at that. Look how nice and lined up that is. So hopefully that'll actually be pretty straight here. Yeah, that's straight enough. I'll take that. So now this is feeding majorly into our line. It'll probably empty out all the extra we have over there. Pipe is something I seem to use a lot, so hopefully it's something we're going to be needing lots of. Okay, so yeah, nothing going in the top. So if you don't tell this splitter to do anything, it just works as an output. So it just goes right straight through it. And awesome. And all the pipe will be coming into here. And it'll probably take a while for some of this other stuff to cycle through, like our frames. Oh no, look at that. We got 7 frames in there. And do we have any heavy yet? No, it does not appear like we've had a heavy modular frame come through the system. That is okay. Those things will take actually a while. They'll produce a lot less than the other ones. But look at this. We got our auto storage all set up here, looking nice and tight. Oh, look at all those lines. I love how the conveyor belts look. That's really neat. Okay, anyways, I'm going to stop gushing over that. And we got heavy modular frames going on. I can just double check the production down here. I did crank it down to 30%. So yeah, we're not even making like 1 per minute. That's okay. I spend 60 minutes in game doing something. That's 60, well, not 60, well, that would be like probably 50 heavy modular frames, which isn't that bad, right? That'll stack up after a while. Awesome. So we are good to go on our production. Yeah, it doesn't look like the steel pipes are being stacked up on the line because we cranked that down to the production of that. What are we waiting on? Always a modular frames. Always a modular frames. These things should be doing pretty decently now. Yeah, we're doing good with the modular frames. Just keeping up perfectly. Awesome. So we now have a fully functioning plant that's making more items. So if you guys have any suggestions of anything else I should make to go into auto storage, definitely let me know down in the comments below. If we do run out of room, what's awesome is I can add another level to this and then build on the top level and then bring the items down and hook them into this main line right here. We could go out the side too, but I'm kind of thinking I want to start going vertically. I think that would be really neat. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys like what you see. I'll see you in the next one. Stay classy, back up them game saves, and have a good one. Peace out. Fist boop.